So in this video we're going to talk about functions, methods and objects. So what is a function? So functions let you group a series of statements together to perform a specific task. So it allows you to group code. Functions are reusable and they save you from writing out the same code over and over. So how do we declare a function? Well, we start off with the function keyword, followed by the function name, and then the block. So it's the keyword, function name, and then code block. So everything that code block, in this case we only have one line, but this could be up to 100 or 1,000 lines. How do we call a function? Well, we start with the function name and it's followed with parentheses. So to declare a function that needs some information, we would first declare it with the keyword function, then the function name, and it is followed with the parameters that it's going to take. So for example, if we want the area of something, we pass it in width and height. We calculate our width and height and then return that particular value. So our width and height are parameters, and the parameters that are used like variables within the function, those parameters are used like variables within that function. So calling a function that needs information, then we would essentially pass in our values 3 and 5 to get the area. Inside of our function, it will multiply them and it will return 15. Objects group together variables and functions to create a model. So objects group together variables and functions to create a model. In an object, variables and functions take on new names and they become properties and methods. So each property or method consists of a name, also known as a key, and its corresponding value. So for example, here we have our object hotel. If we look at this variable here, this is how we declare an object. So an object is declared with the var keyword, the name of the object, and then in curly braces you define the key value pairs. So the name of the hotel, the capacity is 40, the number of people that have booked is 25, is there a gym associated with it? True. And here we have an array with different room types. Now this function, check availability function, so this function within our object would then be referred to as our method. So how do we access objects? To access an object, we use this full stop. So we first name the object hotel, which we've just created, and then to access a property we specify, so it's dot name, so name being the property of that hotel. We can also similarly do it with square brackets. So this is a similar different notation but achieves the same thing. So if we want to update an object and essentially assign a value, so in this case we're going to assign a string to this property. So this is the new value and it is assigned to this property. Similarly, we can do that with the square brackets. So we would have our value park and we put it into the name property.